Hi, shalom friends. Science has made remarkable progress in combating pain. Today we have pills for just about anything and everything, and it's bettered the life immeasurably of millions, perhaps hundreds of millions of people. What was unthinkable and unbearable in the past is now both thinkable and bearable to the extent of being comfortable. Is there anything wrong? Can you think of any negatives in controlling pain? Well, we are currently in an epidemic of an opioid epidemic. People are taking pills that basically not only remove pain, but somehow have a terrible effect. If it's not warranted or they overdose, it affects their breathing and many other parts of the body, and it's actually a danger. Isn't this sort of ironic? A pill and pills, which were created to prolong and to create safety in a person's life, has now become a scourge. Let me suggest a spiritual parallel to this. God created man in a manner where he should have not only a healthy self-esteem, but he should be aware of his own importance. The Talmud actually points out, man was created last, because every human being should say to himself, the world was created for me. I am the most important aspect of creation, more important than the sun and the moon, more important than the dolphin, more important than anything of existence. I am a human being. I have a soul. I am of supreme importance. And therefore, as you would invite a guest after everything is prepared, so too God created man after everything was prepared. Now, this wonderful feeling of importance and of self-value has a flip side. And that is, I'm so great, then how can I do any wrong? I'm so wonderful, so I don't really have to grow. Says the Talmud, well, you could look at it from a different perspective. You're an afterthought. Even a mosquito preceded you. So here we have almost two extremes. Everything, including the stars and the angels, were created for the benefit of you, because you're more important than them. And the opposite extreme would be that you're the least important of creation. You were created last. Now, these two extremes actually create an equilibrium in which we navigate life. We're never cocky, we're never sure of ourselves, we're never arrogant, heaven forbid. But at the same time, we're never worthless. We're not just another cog or another spoke or another atom in this crazy world of billions and gazillions. However, if you're honest with yourself, it's inevitable that you will experience shame. What is shame? Shame basically is the acknowledgement that what you're capable of doing and what you're doing are far apart. It's almost if you were to subtract what I'm doing from what I can be doing, the result would be shame. Shame is very painful. I don't have to belabor this. All of us experience it and know what I'm talking about. What is the purpose of pain? The purpose of pain is to motivate us to take care of and to examine, where is this pain coming from? Perhaps there's something wrong with me. In this case, perhaps I'm too complacent in my spiritual life. I become stagnant. I'm not life-giving. I'm resting on my laurels. I will say to myself, I'm a nice guy. Or I might say, I have a good heart. Or I might go so far as to say I'm a generous person. But when you think about what you're capable of doing, demanding of yourself and bringing out the best in others, you begin to realize you're barely coasting. But then we say, hold it. I was created last because everything is made for me. That's a pill that you need to manage pain. Too much of that will destroy you. The previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak Schneerson, overheard a chassid at a Farbrengen belittling himself. He was like sort of saying out loud, shame on you, you're complacent, you're lazy, you're not demanding, you're this, you're that. He was really putting himself down. To which the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe mentioned the following. He said, when something grows, if you put a seed in the ground, the seed will not germinate. Nothing will grow from it if it remains whole. The seed has to be crushed. It has to literally disintegrate. So when a chassid has self-scrutiny and says, boy, I'm so generous to myself, I'm so understanding about my failings, I'm so tolerant of my shortcomings, you'll never grow. So when you belittle yourself, when you crush yourself, when you analyze and dissect yourself, that's the equivalent of the seed disintegrating. Something holy will grow from this. But the previous Rebbe told the chassid, but never forget, disintegration doesn't create growth. It's the seed that makes it grow. It's almost as if to say the crushing brings out the seed, but if there is no seed and all you have is decay, nothing will grow. So he was telling the chassid, it's very important as you demand more of yourself, at the same time you realize what you're capable of doing. You are a tremendously holy, powerful, complete soul. Never forget you have a seed which is complete and unlimited in its potential. Now you need that crushing to bring it out. But never the crushing, it's not the crushing that brings forth growth, it's actually the seed itself. So here we have it. There is painkillers, which are very important. We cannot live basically today without some type of a medicine that will help moderate or alleviate pain. Spiritually speaking, it is impossible to grow without reminding yourself constantly how special you are in the eyes of God. And no matter what you do, you're infinitely valuable. We need that. And that's not even a pain pill. That's actually absolute truth. But at the same time, look around. There are people overdosing on pain medicine even when they don't need it. Or perhaps they started overdosing because they needed it, and then they could have weaned themselves off, but they just got too comfortable with that feeling of euphoria. We should never become complacent. We should never be comfortable with just being ordinary. If we're extraordinary, let's challenge ourselves. Let's motivate ourselves. And with the assistance of the Almighty, and this is constant, we will be successful. Shalom.